Hi, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can build a plugin for Obsidian that uses the power of AI but doesn't use ChatGPT. Mostly, sort of. Okay, today I saw a post on Hacker News about another plugin for Obsidian that integrates with ChatGPT. There are a bunch of these tools out there, and I love seeing the different ways to use them with the note taker I already love. Making connections, letting you go further with your notes. But when you use ChatGPT, I get a bit nervous. There are plenty of privacy and security issues you should know about. And while there is an opt-out for using your prompts and answers to improve the models, it's not super obvious, and some companies have banned their use when sensitive info made its way into the model. So, are there alternatives to using hosted AI services? There sure are, but I haven't seen anything make its way into Obsidian yet. So in this video, I want to show you how easy it would be to get it done. Now, I'm going to be using Ollama because, well, I'm one of the maintainers of the project. But there are other alternatives like LM Studio and GPT-4All as well. You can find out more about Ollama and install it by going to ollama.ai. Okay, now the first thing you probably want to do is to be able to converse with your notes. Ask it questions. To achieve this, shipping off all your notes to the AI would be too much. Most models can't even accept all the content all at once. When you ask a question, not all of your notes are relevant. So you need to find the parts that are relevant and hand that to the model. Obsidian has search, but it's just searching for exact words and phrases. And we need to search for concepts. And that's where embeddings come in. So we need to create an index. And it turns out it's pretty easy to do. When you create an Obsidian plugin, you can have it do something when the plugin loads up, and then other things when you trigger a command or open a note or other activities in Obsidian. So we want something to understand your notes at the start of the plugin, and it should save its progress so it doesn't have to re-index again. Let's look at a code sample to index one of our notes. I'm going to use Llama Index in this one, but LangChain is another great option. First, we need to initialize an in-memory data store. This is the in-memory store that comes with Llama Index, but ChromaDB is another popular option. And this second line is saying that we'll persist everything we index. Next, I get the path for the file and initialize a reader. Then I read the file, and Llama Index knows about Markdown, so it reads it in appropriately and indexes it. It also knows about PDFs and text files and Notion docs and more. It's not just storing words, but also understanding the meanings of the words and how they relate to other words in this text. Now, this part is using a service from OpenAI, but it's separate from ChatGPT. Different model, different product, and there are alternatives in LangChain that will do this locally, but a little bit slower. Ollama also has an embed function. You could also use those services on a super fast self-hosted instance in the cloud, and then close that down when indexing is done. Now we have an index for this file. Obsidian can give us a list of all the files, so we can run that over and over again. And we're persisting, so this is a one-time action. Now, how can we ask a question? We want some code that will find the relevant bits in our notes, hand it off to the model, and use that info to come up with an answer. So in this code sample, we're initializing the index using the content that we already processed. This retriever.retrieve line is going to take the prompt and find all the chunks of notes that are relevant and return the text to us. We said to use the top 5 matches here, so I'll get 5 chunks of text from our notes. With that raw information, we can generate a system prompt to help our model know what to do when we ask a question. And so now we get to use the model. I'm using a library I created a few days ago that's on NPM. I can set the model to use Llama 2, which is already downloaded to my machine using the command ollama pull llama 2. You can try different models to find the one that works best for you. To get answers back quickly, you'll want to stick to a small model. But you also want to have a model that will have an input context size large enough to accept all of our text chunks. I have up to 5 chunks that are 256 tokens each. I set the model to use that system prompt that includes our text chunks. Just ask the question and it will give you the answer within a few seconds. Awesome! Now our Obsidian plugin would display that answer appropriately. You can also think about summarizing the text or finding the best keywords that match your text and adding them to the front matter, so you can make better connections between notes. I've played around with making 10 good questions and answers to send to Enki. This is a cool spaced repetition tool that helps me remember some of my notes. You'll want to experiment with different models and prompts to accomplish these different things. It's very easy to change the prompts and even the model weights to something more appropriate to the task. I hope this video has given you some ideas for how to build the next great plugin for Obsidian or any other note-taking tool. Using the latest local AI tools like those you can find at ollama.ai, this kind of power is a breeze, and I hope you'll show me what you've got going on in whatever you build. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye. Hold on.